It has been one crazy ride this year. Every January I tell myself the same thing, that maybe this is finally the year everything slows down, that the releases won't hit as hard or surprise me as much. And every January I end up laughing at myself, because apparently the gun world refuses to take a day off. We had more impressive firearms drop this year than we honestly deserved, and I've spent the last 12 months shooting, reviewing, and dragging gear through every miserable condition my range could throw at it. And now that the year's wrapping up, I finally get to sit down, take a breath, and talk about the standouts. These are the guns that didn't just show up, but came in swinging. Some are affordable, some require you to sell a kidney, but all of them earn a place on this list. So grab a drink, relax, and let's get into the 10 guns that really made 2025 a good time to be behind the trigger. Starting off with number 10 is the Tisas PX 9 Duty, a striker-fired 9mm powerhouse that absolutely blindsided me with its no-nonsense build and value that punches way above its weight class. Clocking in at a compact overall length of 7.6 inches, a 4.11-inch cold hammer forged barrel for reliable feeding and tight groupings out at 25 yards, a slim 1.18-inch slide width, and a hefty 28.5-ounce empty weight that soaks up recoil like a dream without feeling like a brick on your hip. This Turkish import from SDS Arms nails the ergonomics right out of the box with a polymer frame pack full of customizable grip inserts and backstraps that echo the legendary HK VP9 vibe, letting you dial in a perfect fit for small or large mitts, plus an undercut trigger guard and aggressive palm swell for that locked-in high grip that keeps your sights aligned naturally every time you draw. What really hooked me was the low-bore axis, thanks to the slide sitting flush against the frame rails, which turns muzzle flip into a gentle push, making follow-up shots on steel at 15 yards feel effortless, even with hot plus P loads, and the whole package points like an extension of your arm. No training required. I snagged mine during a marathon budget pistol showdown, pitting it against a stack of sub-$300 contenders from big names. And this bad boy didn't just survive, it dominated with zero malfunctions, over 1,000 rounds of mixed FMJ and JHP, from cheap range brass to premium self-defense hollow points, proving its gas nitride slide and Tennifer finish shrug off dirt, mud, and sweat like it's allergic to failure. Features-wise, it's loaded for bear, a factory-fitted threaded barrel option for suppressors or comps, a crisp fiber-optic front sight, glowing like a neon sign paired with a U-notch blacked-out rear that's drift-adjustable and compatible with Glock 940 aftermarket swaps, and an RMR pattern optics cut that's deeper than most at this price, complete with a ceiling plate and recoil boss to run a Holosun 507C or Trijicon RMR without the co-witness drama. Hell, I slapped a Vortex Venom on mine, and it tracked like glue through a full mag dump. They even tossed in a flared aluminum magwell that snaps in place for lightning-fast reloads, reversible ambi mag release, Picatinny rail for lights or lasers, and compatibility with SIG P226/P228 mags. So you're starting with an 18+1 flush and a 20+1 extended out of the gate, plus extras like a lockable hard case, IWB holster, cleaning kit, and spare fiber rods. Stuff that had cost you $100 alone from competitors. The flat-faced aluminum trigger is the cherry on top, breaking at a consistent 4.5 pounds with zero creep, a short audible reset you can feel through gloves, and a built-in blade safety that doesn't get in the way, rivaling Canik's vaunted pulls, but at half the hype. Sure, Turkish guns have that hit-or-miss rep from sketchy imports of yesteryear, and I'm always cautious with a single sample gun's long-term endurance. Aftermarket support is growing, but still thinner than a Glock's ecosystem. And at 28 ounces, it's not the lightest for all-day appendix carry if you're built like a twig, but damn if this one didn't flip the script delivering sub-2-inch groups at 15 yards cold bore and eating everything without a stutter, all while hovering at a street price. Around $260 to $300 in late 2025, which is straight-up theft for a duty-ready rig that could pass for a $600 custom shop special. First impressions? This thing came in scorching hot, earning its spot as the budget king that redefined bang for your buck, and left me grinning like an idiot after every session. If you're dipping toes into modern polymer pistols without mortgaging your truck, hunt one down and prepare to be converted. Jumping to number 9, we leave the budget world entirely and launch straight into orbit with the Dark Forge Wraith. A double-stack 9mm 2011 pistol that's less a gun and more a precision-engineered fever dream for anyone who's ever chased that elusive perfect shooter high. Measuring a sleek 8.2 inches overall with a 4.6-inch bull barrel that's got 6 integrated ports venting gases like a mini jet engine to kill recoil before it even thinks about flipping you off target. A razor-thin 1.35-inch slide width that conceals like a whisper under a competition belt, and a total unloaded heft of just 32 ounces thanks to that fully CNC machined aluminum grip module that hugs your palm like it was 3D scanned from your hand, complete with aggressive stippling and a modular backstrap system for zero excuses on fit. This thing's steel frame is the backbone, DLC coated in a stealthy black with subtle bronze PVD accents that scream premium without yelling. And the slide? Forget machined. It's sculpted poetry with aggressive front, top, and rear serrations that let you rack it one-handed off your boot in the dark. Plus those ultra-low profile cuts for direct mount Trijicon RMR or SRO optics that sit so close to the bore axis you forget there's a plate in between, co-witnessing irons flawlessly while keeping your head plant neutral for those split-second transitions in a stage or scrape. What really catapults the Wraith into legend status, though, is how it shoots, like handing the reins of a Lamborghini to a weekend warrior, where every press of that absurdly crisp 2-2.5-pound flat-face trigger, with its glass-like brake, zero creep, and audible reset that cuts through your pro like a laser, sends a 140-grain hollow point downrange at 1,200 frames per second with the flatness of a laser beam. Thanks to the V6 ported barrel's inline design that redirects muzzle rise into nothingness turning what should be snappy 9mm impulse into a gentle shoulder tap that lets you stack doubles on a 6-inch plate at 20 yards without breaking a sweat or losing your sight picture. I pitted it head-to-head against my single-port staccato and Atlas comp builds, and this go stayed flatter than a board. No dip, no torque, just pure, predictable tracking that made me laugh out loud during a 500-round torture test in week 1. Mixing steel case plinkers, premium JHPs, and even some plus P duty loads, without a single hiccup, stovepipe, or failure to feed, even after dunking it in fake mud and letting it bake in the Texas sun. Standout tech here includes the wide tactical Picatinny rail for any light or laser you throw at it, a functional grip safety that doesn't fight your draw, but adds that extra layer of drop-proof paranoia, and full compatibility with standard 2011 double-stack mags. It ships with 3 140-rounders. Wait, 14 rounders, my bad. Flush fits for that competition edge, all wrapped in a design so intuitive and balanced that newbies clock A zones, while vets shave splits down to 0.15 seconds flat. Sure, it's not without quirks. The proprietary aluminum grip means you're locked into their ecosystem for upgrades. Though aftermarket support is ramping up fast in 2025, that featherweight build can feel a tad lively with full power loads if you're not gripping like you mean it. And availability's still a ghost itself since Dark Forge is boutique AF, shipping in limited batches that vanish quicker than free ammo at a giveaway. But those are the luxuries of a true Halo piece, especially edits. Current street price hovering between $2,800 and $3,200, depending on the config. Grab the ported V6 model if you can. The base is solid, but misses that recoil magic, which feels like daylight robbery for something that outpaces guns twice the cost in raw shootability and wow factor. Downsides aside, if you ever catch wind of one at a local shop or a match, rent it, borrow it, beg for it, because the Wraith isn't just a handgun. It's peak adrenaline in forged steel and alloy, the kind of memorable blaster that rewires your brain for what fun really means behind the trigger. And yeah, it single-handedly made every other 2011 in my safe feel a little pedestrian this year. Sliding into number 8 is the Mossberg 940 Pro Tactical, the gas-operated 12-gauge semi-auto shotgun that flat-out impressed the hell out of me by turning what could have been just another range toy into a battle-ready beast that cycles like it's possessed. clocking in at a maneuverable 37 inches overall length with an 18.5-inch vent rib barrel, threaded for chokes and capped with a cylinder bore for max spread in close quarters. A lightweight 7.25-pound empty heft that swings like a featherweight boxer despite its 7+1 tubular magazine capacity for 2.75 or 3-inch shells, and an adjustable synthetic stock that lets you tweak the length of pull from 12.5 to 14.25 inches via a simple spacer system for perfect fit, whether you're a short stack defender or a lanky operator. This evolution of the 930 platform dives deep into user-friendly territory with Mossberg's redesigned gas piston system, nickel boron coated for buttery smooth operation and corrosion resistance, that vents excess gases to tame recoil to a manageable push even with magnum buckshot or rifled slugs, allowing up to 1,500 rounds between cleanings without gumming up. And it devours everything from light birdshot loads to heavy 0.0 buck and sabot slugs without a single short stroke or failure to eject. Even after I ran it filthy through simulated home invasion drills and dusty outdoor sessions. What hooked me hardest was the Ferend, a sleek, ergonomic wrap with aggressive texturing for zero-slip grip in sweat or gloves, integrated heat shield to keep your mitts cool during sustained fire, and those built-in MLOK slots on the sides and bottom that make bolting on a Streamlight TLR 1HL or Surefire X300 Ultra as easy as snapping a Lego. Gone are the days of kludgy side rails or zip ties. Now it's plug-and-play tactical bliss that transforms this from a basic blaster into a full spectrum home defense rig overnight. Controls are oversized and intuitive for high-stress speed. A reversible ambidextrous safety that flips like a light switch. An elongated bolt handle and release button that you can thumb without breaking your sight picture. A beveled and enlarged loading port paired with a bright orange anodized follower and pinch-free elevator that lets you top off on the fly during a reload under duress. All while the fiber optic front sight, protected by wings, and low-profile ghost ring rear keep your bead on a door breacher at 15 yards without squinting. Optics ready out of the box with direct mount cuts for shield RMSI pattern red dots like the Holosun 407K or Vortex Venom, complete with a cover plate for irons-only days, and the whole shebang wears a slick gray Cerakote finish over the aluminum receiver and matte blued barrel that shrugs off scratches, salt, and storage grime like it's invincible. Standout tech shines in the details. The AccuChoke system for swapping cylinder, improved cylinder, or full chokes on the fly. A clean-running overboard barrel that patterns tighter than the 930 ever dreamed. And that signature Mossberg texturing on the pistol grip and Ferend that locks in without abrading your skin, making it a joy for everything from breaching doors to blasting clays. I grabbed mine for around $850 in early 2025. Street prices now hovering $800 to $950 depending on the SPX bundle with pre-mounted optics, which is a steal for an American-made hammer that outpaces pricier Benellis in reliability and modularity without skimping on the guts. Downsides? The 7-pound mark might feel lively with full-power 3-inch loads if recoil-sensitive shooters don't shoulder it firm. Aftermarket stock options are solid, but not as vast as AR platforms. And that fixed tubular mag means no quick dumps in competition. Though for tactical use, it's a pro. But those are minor gripes on a shotgun that's tough as nails, dependable through mud and rain torture tests, and performant enough to earn nods from pros like Jerry Mikulek, who helped refine its DNA. Mossberg nailed the affordable yet uncompromised formula here, blending heritage build quality with modern edge that makes it my go-to-rec for anyone hunting a stateside tactical scattergun. If you need one that'll eat abuse, mount your gear, and keep you in the fight without breaking the bank or your back, the 940 Pro Tactical slides right to the top of the stack. No hesitation. Coming in at number 7 is the Ruger 10 of 22 Magpul Hunter X 22, the .22 LR rifle that hit me square in the nostalgia while still feeling like a thoroughly modern tack driver. Overall length, a handy 37 inches with an 18.25-inch cold hammer forged heavy taper barrel that's free-floated inside the stock for legit sub-MOA potential. Tipping the scales at a featherweight 6.7 pounds unloaded, so you can sling it around the ranch or the backyard plinking line all day without your shoulder filing a complaint. Drop it into that Magpul Hunter X 22 stock, fully adjustable length of pull from 11.5 to 15 inches and comb height via simple spacers and cheek risers. And suddenly the most proven rimfire action on the planet feels like a grown-up precision rifle. Rock-solid polymer construction with aluminum bedding pillars, aggressive texturing where your palms live, a near-vertical grip angle that locks your wrist perfectly, and MLOK slots at 3, 6, and 9 o'clock on the Ferenz, so slapping on a bipod, weapon light, or an Atlas-style barricade stop is literally 3 screws and done. No more zip-tying flashlights like it's 1998. Out of the box, it wears a set of Ruger's excellent fiber optic adjustable sights, but the receiver is drilled and tapped for the included Picatinny rail. So throwing on a Vortex Crossfire rimfire or a Holosun EMS in a low mount is painless and gives you rock-solid zero retention even after you've dumped a brick of ammo. Accuracy? This thing is stupid good. Cold bore 5-shot groups at 50 yards routinely hover around 0.6 to 0.8 inches with SK match or CCI, standard velocity. And at 100 yards, you're still keeping 10 rounds inside 2 inches off a cheap sandbag. Stretch it to 200 yards with Ely Tenix and a mild breeze, and it'll still ring an 8-inch steel plate 9 times out of 10, which is nuts for a semi-auto .22 that costs less than most centerfire optics. Reliability is pure 10-20 seconds DNA. Zero malfunctions across thousands of rounds of everything from bulk Federal to hypervelocity stingers, and even those sketchy no-name bolt packs. And the extended mag release, plus the auto bolt release mod, make running the classic rotary 10-rounders or the aftermarket 25-round BX-25s feel lightning fast. The trigger breaks clean at about 4.5 pounds right out of the case, a huge step up from old-school October 22nd pulls. And if you want to go lighter, Ruger's BX drop-in is a 5-minute swap to 2.5 pounds. Downsides are honestly nitpicks. The heavy barrel profile adds a touch of nose weight. Some folks prefer the sporter taper for pure offhand snap shooting. And while the stock is adjustable, it's not quite as refined as a full-blown chassis system like the Crazy Ivan or Pmaka, but you're also not paying $800 just for the stock. Street price as of late 2025 sits right around $380 to $430 depending on the finish, black, FD, or gray, which is borderline criminal when you consider a base carbine plus a decent aftermarket stock, barrel, and rail would run you well over $600 if you pieced it together yourself. Whether you're teaching a kid the fundamentals, popping squirrels at 75 yards, running steel challenge rimfire matches, or just burning through Saturday afternoon with a grin plaster on your face, the Ruger 10 of 22 Magpul Hunter X 22 comes out of the box feeling complete, shoots way better than it has any right to, and reminds you exactly why the humble .22 LR will never go out of style. This one stuck with me harder than any other rimfire I touched all year. At number 6, we're back in handgun land with the CZP 10C optics ready ported, the compact 9mm striker fire banger that takes everything people already loved about the standard P10C and cranks the shootability dial to 11 without turning it into a fireball spitting dragon. Overall length, a concealable 7.3 inches. 4.02-inch cold hammer forged barrel with a single oversized port machine through both barrel and slide. Height 5.2 inches with the flush 15-round mag, and a svelte 1.26-inch. Slide width that still weighs a confidence-inspiring 26 ounces unloaded, so it never feels whippy. That factory port is the magic sauce. Instead of the usual upward snap you get from tiny aftermarket comps, CZ tuned the gas, venting perfectly so the muzzle stays stupid flat. That return is lightning quick and splits at 10-yard drop into the low 0.18 second range without beating up your wrists on hot 124 grain plus P. The bore axis is already class-leading low, but pair it with the deepest grip undercut in the compact world, 3 interchangeable back straps, and that aggressive stippling that somehow manages to bite hard without shredding your cover shirt. And this thing points like it's reading your mind. Trigger is the classic P10C goodness. Crisp 4.25-pound break, short positive reset you can hear and feel, and almost zero creep, making it one of the best factory striker pulls under a grand period. Out of the box, you get steel 3-dot night sights with a bold orange ring front that glows like a campfire, A true co-witness-ready optics cut with 6 different plate options in the case. RMR, Delta Point Pro, Vortex Venom, you name it, reversible ambi slide stop, and 2 15-round mags that drop free even when caked in carbon. Reliability? I punished mine with 1,200 rounds of mixed steel case, brass, hollow points, and flat-nose training ammo without a single cleaning or malfunction, and it still kept sub 2-inch groups at 25 yards offhand. As of December 2025, street price on the ported or model is sitting right around $460 to $499, depending on whether it's the basic black or the FD version, which is absolutely insane when you realize you're getting a compensated, optic-ready, night sight-equipped duty pistol for less than most people pay for a bone stock Glock 19 with aftermarket sights. Downsides are honestly thin. The port does throw a tiny bit more flash at dusk. Not a big deal with a weapon light. Replacement ported barrels are still C's only and a little pricey. And if your appendix carrying hard, the slightly taller slide from the porting might print a hair more than a non-ported P10C. But those are the smallest of prices to pay for a gun that legitimately does carry home defense, range days, and even local USPSA production division without apology. CZ took an already excellent platform, sprinkled on some competition-grade spice, and somehow kept the price stupid low. If someone tells me they want one pistol that can do literally everything well, the P10C ported is still one of the first I hand them. And after a full year of beating on mine, I'm a happier CZ fanboy than ever. Landing at number 5 is the Beretta 300 Ultima Patrol, the Italian gas gun that straight up mugged half the shotgun spotlight in 2025 and made me eat my Buy American words without even a hint of regret. Overall length and nimble 37.8 inches with a rock-solid 19.1-inch barrel, 7+1 capacity of 3-inch 12-gauge Fury, and a featherweight 7.1-pound unloaded package that shoulders like it was molded to your body the day you were born. Beretta took their proven mobile bore self-cleaning gas system, the same tech that lets the 1301 run 2,000 rounds filthy, and stuffed it into a receiver that's enlarged just enough for gloved hand access, then wrapped it in a rugged gray Cerakote finish with aggressive texturing on the pistol grip and feren that locks in whether you're sweaty, bloody, or wearing mechanics in January. The star of the show is the feren. 7 MLOK slots at 3 and 9 o'clock plus 3 QD cups mean you can mount a Surefire X300, Modelite, or Cloud Defensive OWL in exactly the spot you want without adapters or ugly clamp-ons, and the extended aluminum bolt handle and reversible crossbow safety are so big and positive you can run them with boxing gloves on. Out of the box, you get an elevated ghost ring rear sight paired with a protected fiber optic front pipe, but the receiver is drilled and tapped with a full-length Picatinny rail under the flip-up cover, so dropping on a Holosun AMS or Trigicon MRO for low-light patrol work is literally 5 screws and done. The enlarged loading port and beveled mag tube make quad loads stupid easy. The orange follower screams empty when you're in a hurry, and the kickoff hydraulic recoil pad plus Beretta's micro-core softness drop felt recoil by almost 40% compared to a standard 1301 stock, meaning you can hammer 3-inch Magnum buck all afternoon and still have shoulder the next day. Reliability was boring in the best way. Over 1,500 rounds of everything from cheap Rio birdshot to Federal Flight Control 00 and rifle Brennecke slugs, 0 malfunctions, 0 cleaning needed, and it even cycled those sketchy low-recoil reduced power buck loads without hiccuping. As of December 2025, street price on the Gray Patrol model is sitting right around $950 to $1,050, sometimes dipping under $900 on sales, which is insane when you realize this is 90% of a 1301 Tactical's performance for roughly half the cash. Downsides: the ghost ring rear is a little tall for some red dots. A lower 1/3 co-witness mount fixes it. Aftermarket stock options are still catching up compared to Mossberg or Remington, and at 7.1 pounds, it's not the lightest tube-fed semi if you're running and gunning for hours. But those are tiny quibbles on a shotgun that feels like Beretta distilled 5 centuries of scattergun wizardry into the most approachable, user-friendly, and flat-out reliable tactical 12-gauge under $1,000. If you told me a year ago I'd rank an Italian shotgun this high on a list full of red, white, and blue favorites, I'd have laughed. Then I spent a season beating the absolute snot out of the A300 Ultima patrol, and it never once gave me a reason to doubt it. For patrol work, home defense, 3-gun side matches, or just having the coolest pump killer at the range, this thing is the value king of 2025, hands down. Number 4 is my tiny powerhouse, the Smith & Wesson Performance Center Bodyguard 2.0 carry comp. The micro-compact .380 auto striker-fire pocket rocket that redefined what a true deep conceal blaster can deliver without turning you into a two-handed flailer just to stay on target. Measuring a ridiculous 5.85 inches overall length with a ported 3.1-inch stainless steel barrel that vents gases through the patented PowerPort single-slot design to slash muzzle flip by nearly 40%, a super slim 0.96-inch slide width that disappears in an ankle holster or pocket, 4 inches tall with a flush fit mag inserted, and an unloaded weight of just 11.8 ounces that makes it lighter than most of your keys, yet somehow soaks up .380 snap like a champ thanks to the ultra-low bore axis and that sculpted polymer frame with aggressive texturing on the wraparound grip panels that actually fills a small hand without feeling bulky. This thing is the spiritual successor to the original Bodyguard .380 that left me cold back in 2010 with its integrated laser gimmick and Mete ergonomics. But the 2.0, launched last year and supercharged by Performance Center for 2025, flips the script entirely with a flat-faced aluminum trigger that breaks at a silky 5 pounds with zero creep and a short tactile reset you can feel through winter gloves, making accurate doubles at 7 yards feel as easy as pointing a laser pointer, even for new shooters intimidated by Pocket Point .380s. Out of the box, you get Armory glow night sights with a tritium front dot and U-notch rear that glow like fireflies in the dead of night, a reversible extended mag release for lefty or righty symmetry, an optional manual thumb safety. I run the non-safety version for appendix carry, and compatibility with the flush 10+1 or extended 12+1 double stack mags that ship in the kit, though restricted states get 2 10-rounders. So yeah, that 12-rounder is my daily driver when I need something that vanishes under a t-shirt but still packs enough to back you up in a parking lot tussle. The slide's aggressive serrations front and rear let you rack it off your belt or a boot even with one hand slick from sweat. The Armor Night corrosion-resistant finish shrugs off holster wear and range grime like it's Teflon coated, and the Picatinny rail under the dust cover means a tiny Streamlight ProTac rail mount HLX is a screw-in job for low light draws. Reliability was rock solid through my year-long abuse. Over 1,000 rounds of everything from soft shooting federal HSD hollow points to full power Hornady critical defense without a single light primer strike, FTE, or stovepipe, even after I ran it dirty through sand, simulated sweat, and a full mud bath test that would choke lesser micros. What blew me away was the shootability upgrade. The PowerPort comp doesn't just tame recoil. It turns .380's typical wrist-biting sting into a polite nudge, letting me keep that bold tritium dot buried in an 8-inch torso zone at 10 yards offhand while stacking follow-ups faster than with bulkier 9mm, and groups hover around 2 inches cold bore from a low-ready draw, which is wizardry for something this small. As of December 2025, street prices are landing between $480 and $530 depending on the bundle. Grab the one with the thumb safety if you're safety conscious. It's the same coin, which is an absolute bargain when you stack it against other compensated .380s like the SIG P238 Legion that demand twice the dough for half the capacity and none of this modern striker-fired snap. Downsides? Well, .380's gel block penetration tops out around 10 to 12 inches with premium JHPs, so it's no man-stopper like 9mm. Pair it with quality expanding loads if that's your hill. The flush mag can feel a tad finicky to seat under stress without the extension, and aftermarket support is growing, but still leans heavy on Glock 42-43 part swaps rather than a dedicated ecosystem. But those are the breaks for a gun this diminutive, and honestly, if you're okay trading some deep tissue reach for something that'll actually get drawn in a panic because it doesn't print like a brick, the Bodyguard 2.0 carry comp is hands down the most refined, reliable, and flat-out fun .380 I've ever poured lead through. The original never hooked me, But this evolution? It earned permanent rotation in my safe, proving you don't need size to punch like a heavyweight in the pocket pistol game. Taking the number 3 spot is the CZ Shadow 2 Compact, the official name for what most of us just call the Shadow 2 carry. The all-metal SA 9mm that finally answers the prayer every Shadow 2 owner has whispered for years. What if I could actually carry this race gun legend without needing a chiropractor? CZ took the full-size Shadow 2 blueprint. Legendary for its sub-2-inch 25-yard groups, heavy-as-hell steel frame that eats recoil, and that buttery single-action trigger that breaks like a glass rod at 3.2 pounds, and shrunk it down to a truly concealable package. 7.5 inches overall length for 0.0-inch cold hammer forge barrel, 1.34-inch slide width, 5.4 inches tall with the flush 15-round mag, and a carry-friendly 30.2 ounces unloaded, dropping a full 15 ounces off the big brother while still feeling like a vault door in your hand. The magic is in the details. Same hand-fitted slide-to-frame tolerances, same extended firing pin and reduced power springs for lightning lock time. Same aggressive checkering on the front, and backstrap that locks the gun in place without shredding your cover garment, and that iconic low-bore axis that lets the gun return to zero almost by itself. The DA/SA trigger is still phenomenal. 11.5-pound double-action pull that's smooth as melted chocolate, then a crisp 3.3-pound single-action with almost zero over-travel and a reset so short you can ride it like a 1911. And they added a frame-mounted decocker, so you can safely drop the hammer for condition 2 carry or just ride with one in the chamber and the hammer down. No manual safety to fumble under stress. Out of the box, you get fiber optic front with blacked-out serrated rear, Heijo-style adjustable plate included, an optics-ready slide with a deep CZ plate system, RMR, SRO, DPP all-direct mount with perfect co-witness, 315-round mags that drop free even when filthy, and that gorgeous nitride finish with blue aluminum grip panels and trigger that make it look like a $2,500 custom shop piece instead of a production gun. Accuracy is stupid. 1.2-inch average 5-shot groups at 25 yards off a bag with 124 grain NATO, and offhand I was ringing 8-inch steel at 50 yards all day without thinking. Reliability? Over 2,000 rounds of mixed ball, hollow points, and steel case garbage, 0 stoppages, even after I let it sit caked in carbon for a month. Recoil is laughably soft for a compact metal gun. The weight soaks up 9mm like it's a .22, and follow-ups are faster than most polymer strikers I own. As of December 2025, street price on the optics-ready model is hovering right around $1,050 to $1,150, sometimes dipping under $1,000 on sales, which is borderline theft for a hand-fitted, all-steel, optics-ready, 15+1DA/SA masterpiece from the same factory that builds $3,000 competition irons. Downsides are few. The decocker-only setup means no manual safety. Some folks hate that. Mags are still pricey at $50 a pop, and at 30 ounces it's not a featherweight if you're used to Glock 43X weight. But if you love metal guns, the trade-off is more than worth it. This isn't a compromised Shadow 2. It's a Shadow 2 that finally grew up and learned how to hide under a t-shirt. For the guy who wants one pistol that can win a local steel match on Saturday, defend the castle on Sunday, and ride appendix all week without printing, the Shadow 2 Compact is pure, unfiltered CZ wizardry, and easily one of the most special handguns released this decade. Runner-up at number 2 is the Springfield Armory Kuna, the roller-delayed 9mm personal defense weapon, PDW, pistol from Croatia's HS product that snuck up on me like a pine marten in the underbrush, named after the fierce national animal that once graced their currency. And damn if it didn't convert this Springfield skeptic into a full-blown fanboy after a single mag dump, blending the timeless reliability of an MP5's roller-delayed blowback with AR-style ergonomics that make it feel like the love child of a subgun and a black rifle, raised right without the drama. Clocking in at a svelte 15.5 inches overall length with the Strike Industries FSA folding brace collapsed, stretching to 24.5 inches extended for shouldered stability. A cold hammer-forged 6-inch melanite finished barrel threaded 1/2 by 28 with a multi-port muzzle brake that vents gases like a whisper to keep the dot glued on target. A monolithic 7075 T6 aluminum upper receiver that's beefy yet lightweight at just 5.5 pounds unloaded, and a polymer lower with adaptive texturing pulled from the Echelon and Hellcat lines for a grip that molds to your hand without turning it into hamburger after 500 rounds. This thing's roller-to-lade system, featuring a single top-mounted roller that locks the bolt just long enough to build pressure without needing a gas tube or heavy reciprocating mass, is the secret sauce, turning snappy 9mm impulse into a soft shoulder pad that lets you hammer 30-round strings at 25 yards with sub-2-inch groups using Federal HSD or Blazer brass. No flip, no fuss, and velocities bumping up to 1,250 frames per second from that extended tube for flatter trajectories than any pistol I've slung. Controls are pure ambidextrous bliss. Reversible, non-reciprocating charging handle that folds out of your face, low-profile selector, bolt catch, an oversized mag release that you can run without shifting your cheek weld, plus a full-length Picatinny rail crowned with hybrid flip-up irons. U-notch closed for pistol-style sighting, peep aperture open for precision. That co-witness perfectly under a Holosun 503 or Vortex crossfire. It ships with two translucent polymer 30-round magazines, sporting steel feed lips for that last rounding you can hear across the range. And while proprietary, running about $25 to $30 each, they're low profile and drop-free, even caked in carbon. The trigger? A crisp 4.5-pound flat-face jewel with a short reset that rivals tuned 2011's, making transitions between plates at 15 yards feel like cheating. I wasn't always Team Springfield. Too many M1A gripes in my past. But when they tap HS product, the wizards behind the XD, Echelon, and Hellion, magic happens, and the Kuna proves it with a layout that's intuitive for AR vets yet accessible for MP5 nostalgics. And mellow case slots at 3, 6, and 9 on the handguard for lights, lasers, or foregrips without adding ounces. And suppressor ready out of the gate for those quiet neighborhood watches. Durability was the real shocker. I torched 1,200 rounds of mixed steel case plinkers, plus PJHPs and subsonic subs without a single malfunction, then dunked it in mud slurry, baked it in the sun, and dropped it butt first on a concrete from waist height. The brace took a cosmetic scar, but the roller system cycled like butter on the first dry fire, spitting empties clear and keeping zero through it all. No bent rollers or seized bolts like you dread on lesser blowbacks. For self-defense in the truck or nightstand, range days burning through bricks without wrist fatigue, or two-gun setups where you want PCC punch without the rifle report. This is your Huckleberry. As of December 2025, street prices are landing at $950 to $1,050 for the braced model, MSRP $1,149, but sales are dipping at under $1,000 easy, undercutting clones of the MP5 that demand double the dough for half the modern perks like that threaded barrel and adaptive grip. Downsides: proprietary mags mean no Glock or CZ swaps, though extensions are coming. The 5.5-pound mark might feel lively for tiny frame shooters with full 30s loaded. And aftermarket is nascent since it's fresh off the boat, but those are future-proofing quibbles on a standout that redefined sensible in the PCC world. Easily one of the most versatile long guns of the year, the Kuna didn't just impress. It made me rethink my entire carbine drawer. And number one this year is the Canik Mete MC9 Prime, the micro-compact 9mm striker-fired pistol that embodies everything modern carry guns are evolving into: a US-made, straight out of their Florida factory, powerhouse blending competition-grade features with everyday concealability that had me rethinking my entire EDC rotation after just one session, clocking in at a svelte 6.73 inches overall length, 4.24-inch integrally compensated barrel with a triple-port expansion chamber machined directly into the slide and barrel for zero loose par drama, 5.43 inches tall with a flush-fit 17-round mag inserted, a razor-thin 1.16-inch slide width, and an unloaded weight of just 23.38 ounces that makes it feather light on the hip yet balanced like a full-size duty gun thanks to the low-bore axis and extended polymer grip frame. This thing's integrated comp is the game changer. Those three precisely angled ports vent gases upward and rearward to neutralize muzzle rise by nearly 50%, turning what could be snappy micro 9mm recoil into a flat, predictable push that lets you stack double taps on a 6-inch plate at 15 yards with splits under 0.20 seconds. No wrist fatigue, even after 200 rounds of 124 grain plus P hollow points, and velocities clocking 1,150 frames per second for flatter arcs than most subcompacts I've tested. The slide's aggressive lightning cuts, front and rear serrations, plus those signature Canik shark gill vents give it a futuristic, aggressive profile that's easy to rack one-handed off your belt in the rain, while the nitride finish shrugs off holster wear and corrosion like it's allergic to rust. Optics ready out of the gate with the deepest RMSC footprint cut on a micro, complete with a steel recoil boss and sealing plate. It direct mounts a Holosun EPS carry, Shield RMSC, or Trigicon RMRCC without adapters, and the built-in rear sight ledge ensures perfect co-witness irons even with your favorite enclosed emitter. Sights are night fisheye perfection. A tritium front that's bright as a lighthouse paired with a serrated blacked-out U-notch rear that's drift adjustable and snag-free for draws, glowing green through the dead of night without washout. The trigger? Classic Canik sorcery upgraded. A flat-faced, diamond-cut aluminum shoe with a crisp 4.25-pound 90-degree brake, zero creep, minimal over-travel, and a short, audible reset you can ride like a rail, even in gloves, making precise hits feel effortless for newbies or pros alike. Grip ergonomics hit that Glock 19 sweet spot, but better. Mildly aggressive, stippling all around. No more skin-shredding sandpaper. Interchangeable backstraps for custom fit, an undercut trigger guard that's enlarged for glove thumbs, and an integrally flared magwell that snaps an extended 17 plus 1 double stackers. Ships with 2 flush 12s and 1 extended, all steel lined for zero feed lips bending. For reloads faster than you can say, malfunction free. Add the reversible ambi mag release, Picatinny rail for a streamlined TLR 7 sub, and that optional external magwell insert for competition spice. And you're looking at a do-it-all rig that's suppressor already threaded under the comp if you swap barrels later. Reliability was flawless in my gauntlet. 1,500 rounds of mixed steel case blazer, premium spear gold.jhps, and subsonic training loads without a single hiccup. Then a mud dunk, sand roll, and drop test from chest height where it cycled dirty and kept sub 1.5-inch groups at 25 yards cold bore. Tough as nails, yet lightweight enough for all-day appendix without printing under a T. As of December 2025, street prices are hovering $620 to $780 for the base model, MSRP $649, with the optic bundle at $849, which is outright criminal value when you're getting a compensated, night sight equipped, 17 plus 1 optic-ready micro for less than a tricked-out Glock 43X. Downsides: the comp amps up muzzle, flash a tad in low light. Mitigate with a weapon light. Proprietary mags run $35 to $40 a pop with growing aftermarket support. And at 23 ounces loaded, it's lively with full 17ths if you're recoil sensitive. But those are microscopic gripes on a pistol that's refined, balanced, and stupid fun to shoot. Easily the most confidence-boosting striker I've run in years. If you spot one at a local range or shop, rent it stat. The trigger feel and flat shooting magic alone will hook newer shooters instantly. And for vets, it's the reason 2025 felt like the golden age of handguns all over again. As we wrap this up, I want to say that putting these lists together still feels surreal after all these years. January marks a decade of making gun content, and I'm still grateful every single time someone decides to watch one of these videos. You all let me live the kind of life younger me would never have imagined, spending days on the range and talking honestly about the gear I love and the gear that misses the mark. Thank you for showing up, for supporting the channel, for arguing in the comments, and for being part of this whole crazy ride. If 2025 was this good, I can't wait to see what next year brings. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, support Oklahoma shelters if you're able, and please, for the sake of the planet and my sanity, remember to recycle. I'll catch you in the next one.